Okay, so Silver Doctors has this article, famous technical analysts now predicting crash during Jubilee time period. So again, we're back on this whole 7-year cycle, the 7 of the 7, 7 times 7, 49, the big Jubilee year, which again, as you know, I've been talking about this the last couple of videos. Last September, October timeframe was the Shemitah cycle, which lasts a year and ends apparently in a Jubilee. And as I've mentioned, ain't going to be no Jubilee for you. Will be a Jubilee for the banksters as they destroy all of the debt of the world and the economies with it, and your retirement and pension with it, and the hand-me-outs and entitlements as well with it. The whole thing is going down. So essentially, they'll kind of get a de facto Jubilee in a sense because it's all going to be destroyed by them. Again, you on the other hand, you will still be paying that credit card. You will still be paying that house payment. That ain't going nowhere. So it says Shemitah 2015 was a special Shemitah. Every 7th Shemitah is a special year called the Super Shemitah or Jubilee. Again, that's 49 years. Jubilee 2016 is telling us what's coming. We better be prepared. The flurry of banksters, ex-banksters such as Alan Greenspan, insiders such as Soros, and billionaires all warning we are on the edge of collapse now continues with the famous technical analysts. Once again, this is from Jeff Berwick of the Dollar Vigilante. I've mentioned him numerous times in the past. I subscribed to his newsletter for a little while, towards the end of last year actually, and then I think maybe January of this year I ended up stopping. But I was more concerned with what kind of mining companies and that kind of stuff, some of the juniors and stuff that he was into, which he listed on his site. And they've pretty much, again, he has a good track record right now. He's up over 100% with his suggested buys and whatnot, his suggested positions in the markets. So he says in an interview with Business Insider, the guy's name is Sandy Jadeja, or does that Jadeja with a silent J? Jadeja, we'll just call it Jadeja. So this guy's name is Sandy Jadeja. Just predicted market crashes in late August, late September, and late October. Jadeja is a famous technical analyst for chief marketing strategist and chief market strategist at Core Spreads. He previously made no less than 4 accurate predictions of market crashes based on his charts and technical analysis. His latest dates are right around the Jubilee year end date. Once again, adding another person to the same time frame, October 2nd, 2016. 2016 is a building year where the top banking elites are preparing for the next and final step toward world government. It likely will include some sort of washing away of the current financial and monetary order to bring in the new. The thing is, building a new order, or new world order, doesn't happen cleanly or quietly. No, we're going to see a series of tremendous crises. This is what we've been warning you about here at the Dollar Vigilante. It's why I began researching first Shemitah and now Jubilee year 2016. If you are a regular reader, you know I discovered that 7-year Shemitah cycle years repetitively include financial disasters. It became obvious that the Shemitah was a ritualistic time period where, for one reason or another, negative events were triggered. These events were financial and social and military as well. 2015 Shemitah was a special Shemitah. Every 7th Shemitah, again 49 years, is a special year called the Super Shemitah or Jubilee. According to Jonathan Kahn, author of The Mystery of the Shemitah, the Super Shemitah or Jubilee year extends the chaos that occurred in the Shemitah year to the basically a year later, September-October timeframe. Now, other market pros seem to be suggesting this timeline. Jadeja said, quote, "We have interesting times ahead of us. We are dealing with issues on so many levels, from economic uncertainty in the financial markets, including currencies and commodities, as well as the rising house prices we have seen. I believe that using the information we have and embracing the tools and technology we have access to right now, that we could use these to our advantage to prepare and protect," end quote. Jubilee 2016 is telling us what's coming. We better be prepared. We've written about how George Soros, Carl Icahn, Jim Rogers, and numerous others, including this guy now too, are all preparing for catastrophic times when the market collapses along with the dollar. This is Jadea's point of view too. Last year, on July 31st, 2015, he told CNBC that, quote, something big would happen on August 18th. He said, be prepared to bank profits and stand aside. He was right about his decision, just as we were when we made the same prediction based on the Shemitah cycle. The Dow Jones Index lost 2,198 points, or 12.5%, in just 4 trading days. Now he predicts big bumps on the way to the year 2018. We are currently in a very dangerous time zone between 2011 until 2018. This is an 84-year cycle called the time cycle, and the previous cycle appeared during 1928 until 1934, where the Great Depression took place. He is seeing his charts, what we figured out by analyzing Jubilee 2016 trends, and points out 2018 as being a key year. Our research indicates a major shift or collapse in 2016 to be followed by ongoing disasters until 2018, when we think the elite have already planned to bring in a one-world currency. I would strongly agree, once again, with the new people who are completely new to hearing any of this. The Rothschild family, probably the most rich, powerful family on the face of the earth, own, or at least part owners of a magazine called The Economist. And every month they have a different cover, but each year has its own special cover. So the year 2016, 2017, they all have these special covers. And the one for last year had some interesting numbers and symbolism and stuff on there that actually pointed to the exact date of the Paris attacks. Coincident, I'm sure. Their 1988 cover, which is more important, and I'm going to just because I haven't done this in a while, let me pause this. I'm going to go find the cover so I can point this out to you. Okay, so here's the cover. Okay, and essentially, we've got this gold with medallion. Look, it looks like a coin. It's got the year 2018 on it. Okay. It's got a chain that's also gold around this, like phoenix rising bird's neck. And on the bottom where he's stepping, as you can clearly see, is a bunch of paper dollars. And I've noticed these are not just one currency. These are different countries' currency. Looks like American dollars, looks like some type of Asian dollar, perhaps Japan or China. There's a few different ones in there. They're all on fire. They're burning, and there's this giant gold coin around this damn phoenix, his neck. What is the title of this magazine, or the cover? Get ready for a world currency. And again, the coin's date is 2018. That is hard to just let pass by when you say, okay, well, that was 1988, right? 2008, 1988, 1998, 2008, 2018. That's exactly 30 years. Exactly 30 years from 1988. And we just had a Brexit vote to leave, which, as you saw in my last video, lines up with the whole 7 numerical thing. 7 years, 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days is when that vote was counted and took place. And the market started crashing around the world. And it was supposed to happen next year in 2017, and the Prime Minister, Gordon Brown or whatever, decided to change the date. We're going to do it 2016 instead. There ain't a chance in hell this was by pure coincidence. So, back to my story here. I want to read you from Silver Doctors with the Dollar Vigilante. Those behind these trends have horribly big plans for the next few years. They are putting in place additional triggers that will result in the major catastrophes that will turn our world from a series of nation states into something much bigger and much more horribly homogenized. If you think that's going to be accomplished easily or quickly, you're wrong. The scale, the magnitude of the disasters is going to be horrifying. People will have to be made so miserable that they will willingly go along with any plan proposed to them, no matter how authoritarian and terrible. They will give up what's left of their freedoms for just a scrap of security. Again, they're going to say, I'll accept anything, just make the pain go away. Make the financial pain go away. Promise me my pension will come back. Promise me I'll have some. retirement. Promise me anything and I'll accept whatever you throw at me. Of course, we didn't need this man to tell us what's going on, though it always is good to get a confirmation. We've acted on our research and actively created wealth for ourselves and Dollar Vigilante subscribers. Our star market and mining analyst, Ed Bugos, has used Shemitah and Jubilee insights to expand the wealth of our Dollar Vigilante portfolio dramatically this year, with many of our investments up in the hundreds of percent and our total portfolio up 116% so far this year. We're getting closer to the end days of this market and even of the world's current direction and organization. Unlike the mainstream and even most alternate websites, we get it. We have the track record to prove it. Please join forces with us before it's too late. You need to plan, and you need the most up-to-date information as October grows closer. You can subscribe to the newsletter by clicking here, which it's his website, thedollarvigilante.com/subscribe. I'm sure if you just go to the main website, there'll be a link there. Again, I only subscribed for a few months and then stopped. And then it was only, I think, $25 a month. Not a big deal. But I was just so curious about his mining picks and what he had to show there. And I looked at it. I didn't make any moves on it because, again, I know you can make money in the market. I know you can do this. But the market is their system. So imagine taking advice like his. Wow, I'm up. This guy is great. He is on point. I'm so happy. And then finding out later after the big one hits, markets are closed, can't take your money out, you're stuck. Or try to take your money out, but because that particular broker or whoever the hell you had your shares and stocks through that did the transaction for you, your online account had so many more losses they had to deal with that they're now closing the doors, and your positive cash flow gains are gone. So Dollar Vigilante's words of wisdom were fantastic. You followed through and then got stuck and couldn't get out of the market for one reason or another. That's why I have a hard time getting into something like this. Even though I know, man, I could get in and get out. People make a lot of money. You can do it. I'm more of a hard asset guy. Precious metals all the way. Silver is my game. Used to do some gold. I'm a silver guy because, again, when you have 80-to-1 ratio of gold, that's, silver to gold, and it should be 20-to-1, 15-to-1, 16-to-1. I have a feeling it's coming back down. Matter of fact, I know it's going to ultimately. So you stand to get a lot larger return on investment if you go with silver. However, you might have a good portion of money that you say, I'd like to throw at this. And you may have to weigh your options, like how much silver do I want to be putting in a bag or backpack and toting with me somewhere should I need to, because that's a lot of weight, versus a lot less gold for the same amount of money, easier to move around. It's your call, Personally, I do the silver thing because I think there's more upside to it. They've always called it the poor man's silver, the poor man's gold, because gold becomes expensive. Poor men can't afford it, but they can afford silver, that sort of thing. So anyways, last, of my videos today, you're going to be seeing this Monday morning. And I'm thinking, depending on how the markets look when they open tomorrow, I may have to run out to my car for at least just a few minutes, 5 minutes, and do a little update video of, is the world falling apart? Are the markets falling apart? Etc. The short answer is only if the club wants them to. And they wanted Brexit now, we're sure of that. Which means they need to have a little bit of chaos. And I agree with him. We'll have a little bit more chaos, October comes, oh my God, markets fall out, big problems. 2017 rolls around, they're not getting any better. What are we going to do? We need to fix the problems. More countries are leaving the EU. There's problems everywhere. 2018 rolls around. We've got the solution, everybody. We got the solution. What's that? New currency, gold-backed currency or gold itself. And that's when I can really see where we have a two-tier currency system, like one to be used by us peons inside of America, and another one that our country uses for international trade, something along those lines, before we join this new world order system, possibly. Who knows? But we will find out. I can tell you that much, and I will be keeping you up to date with all of these things as they happen. Take care.